we go. Hello, everyone. Thanks for showing up and thanks for being here. We are going to get right into this game here of Series 4. This is our second one of this series. Just make sure if you haven't seen any of these or you're missing some of them, make sure and just go to our YouTube channel. If you're not on YouTube watching right now, it's youtube.com/TimeIsTabletop. Or if you're watching on Twitch, we also have them in there in our collections. All the past episodes are up there, and hopefully in order. I numbered them, so I think they're in order. So you can go and check those out if you need to see some of the mechanics and some of these characters, new and old. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and give this right over to Michael. All yours, sir.
All right. Well, hello and welcome to Strange Generations, a nightmarish journey through the shadows of America, one generation at a time. This is the second of 3 episodes in our 1970s arc, where we are revisiting the characters that we played in the 1950s, or in some cases. And we have one more episode to go until the exciting conclusion, the finale of this arc, this mini-series, I suppose, before moving on to an all-new setting and characters. So we'll meet these characters in just a moment, and then I'll go ahead and do a quick recap. I should do, before we get going, I want to do kind of a disclaimer. This episode, this whole series is set in a fictionalized version of Philadelphia, and this will include some references to some violent events that took place in Philadelphia and as well as in the United States as a whole, in the mid to late 70s and early 80s. This episode in particular involves a depiction of a group that in real Philadelphia history is called the Muslim Mafia or the Black Mafia sometimes. And I mean, they were a real criminal organization, but this is a fictionalized version of that. And I just want to say that I'm not intending to be demeaning or insulting to people of the actual Islamic faith or of the Nation of Islam faith, which the fictional characters and the real members of that organized crime group were nominally. And feel free to look up the actual history, which is pretty fascinating and very violent in many particular ways. So it is kind of it is a dark chapter of Philadelphia's history that we'll be covering here. But I just wanted to get that out of the way. And please, if there's any issues, anything that stops the game from being enjoyable, feel free to send me a note, use that X card, and we can always, I can accept that and we can move forward. All right. So let's go ahead and meet the characters. I want to start with, so tell me who you are, who you're playing, and I guess how they're feeling after some unfortunate run-ins with a weird cult and some other strange stuff in our last episode. Starting with Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm playing Rosie Walsh, who was a kid that in our original arc in the 50s, she was a kid that kind of came from a bit of a messed up home life. Her dad wasn't in the picture after a run-in with the mafia. And her mom had to work full-time as a waitress and really kind of she was also an alcoholic. So she didn't have a good start, but the thing that was sort of her salvation was her music. She was a talented piano player. She moved away to New York, got a job in the Brill building writing pop songs, and sort of has become a bit of a rock star in the 1970s, soft rock scene. So it's not like she's woo, crazy rock star lifestyle, although kind of. Because everybody did, it's you wouldn't think James Taylor was partying super hard based off of his music, but he was. Anyway, back in her hometown to collect her ailing mom and bring her back to Topanga Canyon in Los Angeles. And and has run into people that she really kind of didn't ever want to see again, and is managing, and is grateful that she has things like her record label can provide her a helicopter at a moment's notice. So
There was
Um,
some handy helicoptering in our last
there's
episode.
some handy helicoptering in the last game. Um, so yeah, that's like totally a random scattershot impression of Rosie, but she's a lot more charming than when she was a kid, but she is equally violent. Just maybe a little bit more. She's better at controlling her tendencies, but she also has like a, you know, 44 Magnum in her purse. So good
Bit of an
times.
upgrade from the last arc, maybe
Yeah.
in terms of
Well,
firepower.
she saw Dirty Harry and was like, "That gun's a good idea." So I think that's the gun from Dirty Harry. It's been a while since I watched it, but
I think you're right.
yeah.
All right. And speaking of guns, we're also joined by Dallas playing a new character, Carl Harris.
Yes. Hey, everybody. I'm Dallas, and bringing back Carl Harris for the second episode, I should say. He's out of his element. At first he thought he was hired for the right thing. Gunman shows up, tries to defend who he was hired for, and then it just spirals totally out of there. Just spirals. Luckily the group he's with is already in the know and pretty level-headed with what's going on. Each has their own ties and stuff like that. Pretty level-headed.
I'm not sure if I would use that phrase to describe this group, but go on.
I mean, in his terms, he's like, "What? You've all like, okay, you're okay with this, all right?" And then they brought their own gear, so he's like, "All right." He's just making sure that he's doing his part, but also trying to, I guess, keep his head on a swivel because a lot of this is new. So he's also, if I'm correct at this point in the story, really, really needing some comfort at the moment from some substance.
Right. He's jonesing.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see what happens. Maybe some opportunities there.
Well,
we are also joined. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rosie.
Oh, I said a little white light, white heat, chasing the dragon.
We are also joined by Marvin.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Marvin, and today I'm going to be playing the conspiracy theorist Jordan Mays, who, as a former Boy Scout, saw some things that kind of changed his outlook on life. And he is, well, for the most part, a well-adjusted adult who just believes that aliens exist, which they do. I would like to point out for a fact that everything that Jordan says has happened to him at some point. So he's not really a conspiracy theorist. He's just telling the truth that people don't want to hear.
Definitely, it's an example of you're not paranoid if they really are out to get you. They really are out to get you. He's that phrase in the flesh, perhaps.
Exactly. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. All of you are crazy.
And we are also very happy to be joined by Nick.
Yep, I'm Nick. I apologize for the munching, but anyway, that happens. But I am once again playing Sean Hackett. This adult version is a bit of a druggy nowadays, but with all this mention of the Abraxanites and bringing Abraxas back, he's a little freaked out now. He may have to pull out some of the stuff that he has in his bag and try and relax.
So. All right. Well, we'll see if I can if I use some time for that. We'll find out.
See.
Okay.
The scene where everybody just takes drugs.
Could be a cool montage. But let's get into it. First, I'll do a quick kind of introduction recap, and then we'll see what happens after that helicopter drops you off. So, it's Christmas Eve in New Hookton, and for a motley crew thrown together by bad childhood memories and fate, it's shaping up to be a truly rough holiday season. World-renowned singer-songwriter Rosie Walsh, big city gangland enforcer Carl Harris, science researcher and conspiracy theorist Jordan Mays, and Sean Hackett, a stoner with hidden depths, found themselves assisting an old friend, Bud Heller, by delivering a powerful occult artifact known as the Eye of Abraxas to a bizarre wood-dwelling cult called the Doves of Enlightenment. Dr. Guru, Oren McIntosh, the self-styled high priest of the Doves of Enlightenment, took the Eye of Abraxas for his own unknown purposes. And when he used psychic powers to make trees come to life, he proved that he has some arcane abilities of his own. One person in New Hookton might have some answers. Unfortunately, it's a murderous gangster named Rashid X, who runs a criminal group dubbed the Vice Mosque, operating out of the impoverished neighborhood called the Bend. But someone else is seeking the Eye of Abraxas, the pistol-packing serial killer known as the Brother of Abraham. It's shaping up to be a bloody Christmas. All right, so it's Christmas Eve. You guys have helicoptered your way back into the cold world of the Bend, or the city. I mean, you're probably not staying in the town's most miserable neighborhood. Maybe I'll start with Rosie real quick. How do you spend the night before you guys meet up tomorrow to continue this investigation?
Yeah, so she goes back to her penthouse suite in whatever the richest area of town is. Well, the richest area that would have a hotel. Usually the absolute richest areas don't have hotels, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, like downtown. That's what I think of.
Yeah.
I think the fancy hotel that she once played piano in, actually.
Right.
Back in
Yeah,
the first
she
arc.
probably always stays there out of spite.
Yeah.
Like she had them put up a picture of her playing piano as a kid, like over their piano. Just as a reminder, like, you guys kicked me out of here when I was she always talks about it every time she's back in here. She's like, hey, when I was a little kid, I played piano here in the lounge and some jerk kicked me out. But yeah, she always goes here. And yeah, she goes back there. She calls up Blair, Blair's her husband, well, ex-husband, soon to be ex-husband.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
complicated. The inspiration for the #1 album Whispers, though, by Told She Would, check it out, burning up the charts. Just talks to him because, well, no, it's the West Coast, so the kids would still be up.
Yeah. I mean, it's late, but yeah, time difference.
Yeah, talks to little Courtney and Karen, who are going to definitely grow up to be well-adjusted women based on having those names. And
Sure.
just checks in, doesn't tell them all about like the horrible danger that she's in, just wants to hear their voices.
Okay. What about Carl Harris? How does he spend the evening?
I'd say most likely Carl's up in a hotel somewhere, or something that's like a protected, something that he would be given. And he's most likely just got, if possible, some record playing, Billie Holiday, Big Mama Thornton, something like that, just blues. And he's gone. He's gone as soon as possible. As soon as he can hang up Gladys and just kick back. But yeah, he names his gun for sure. But
Oh, I love the name too.
Gladys and the Clips. Yeah. So he needs it because he knows he won't be helpful at all the next day if he can't get away for a little bit.
All right.
What he's thinking about is what his last conversation with his kid, and then also with what Rosie said about stuff. So that's going through his mind before he fades out.
All right. So we'll leave you with you enjoying your fix. What about Jordan?
I would think Jordan's just heading on home afterwards, and talking to his equally batshit crazy wife, Diana.
I think bizarrely, Jordan's home life might be the best of all of them.
Yeah, he met someone as crazy as he is. But then again, we're not really crazy because aliens do exist. we're basically just going to batten down the hatches tonight, you know, board up the windows, get the kids into a secure room, and just, you know, make sure we're ready for a government raid at some point because we know it's going to happen.
Okay. And then, how about Sean?
Sean is, yeah, I'd say he's back home, just sort of staring at the colors.
Okay. All right. So the night passes. I believe. Oh well, today is Christmas Eve. This was the night you were just enjoying was the night before Christmas Eve. Now it is officially the day before Christmas. Christmas Eve is tonight. So you have to get in touch with Rashid X to figure out what exactly the Eye of Abraxas is doing, like, on the market, and what Dr. Guru is doing with it. So, Feather, or I can't remember what the full name I gave her was. The
First name was Jeannie. if I remember.
Jeannie, yes, who was attempting to defect, or at least contacted you.
Jeannie.
Yes,
It was
she mentioned
Janie,
that.
right?
That was Janie.
Janie,
Yeah,
yes,
sorry.
you are correct. She mentioned that Imani Carson, one of the leaders of the New Hooked and Lions, might know more. Or what she could do would get you in touch with Rashid X, or Carl, who is working for Rashid, to get you an audience with him right away. So what do you think? What's your next move there?
Well, why not cut out the middleman or middlewoman in this case and just go directly to Rashid?
Well, I mean, wasn't Janie basically captured by the other cultists at this point? I mean,
Yeah, she's still back in the Covey, the city of the Doves of Enlightenment, or
right.
encampment, really.
So we'd have to go rescue her if we
Mhm.
want her to make the meeting.
Mm.
So I feel like probably the best thing to do is just to, I mean, Carl, you cool with it?
Well, I know for a fact that Rashid X would definitely want to know what's going on. I can't say whether or not that. Sorry, dropping names at the moment. I can't. Imani Carson. Yeah, I can't say whether or not Miss Carson would have anything of help, but Mr. X maybe of help. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll kind of we'll sort of fade in as you guys head to his establishment, his headquarters, which is a pool hall called the Deep Pocket. Nestled amongst the graffiti-stained alleys and a dismal shooting gallery hotel, the Deep Pocket's entrance squats below a buzzing neon sign of a constantly rolling 8-ball. Inside, the low light shines on chipped pool tables. Members of the Vice Mosque work the pool cues, sending billiard balls humming and crashing in discordant rhythm. Dark leather jackets and overcoats predominate, but almost as a uniform, they all sport bow ties. Their games continue as you walk to the counter where Rashid X waits. He's smaller than you'd expect, but the intensity in his eyes proves that he doesn't just talk the talk. As you enter, he pours himself a glass of whiskey. This is haram. He holds it up in a mocking toast. But I'll ask God for forgiveness later. So as he throws it back and looks you over, he says, Carl Harris, you brought some friends?
Yes. That the thing you were asking me to keep an eye on and find out what happened with you know, our associated friend, you know, Gaglio.
Yes.
These three actually have a history with that. So I thought maybe you would like to have firsthand knowledge that they have, and maybe vice versa.
Carl, go ahead and give me a charm roll. Let's see
Ooh,
how that comes off.
here we go. D10, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, probably not too tricky.
Yes, that's a 10.
Oh wow, okay. I mean, I was gonna say like 4 would do it, but go ahead and roll again. Explodes.
Okay, this is probably going to be my best night or best roll of the night. I wish I had a camera over my little box right now because it's another 10. No.
Whoa, incredible. Okay, you've
joke.
charmed the pants off this guy.
It's another 2 then. So
22.
What a 10. Woo!
Incredible. Okay. So he's like, Carl, you've done extremely well. I will absolutely let Mr. Lucas know that you are an exceptional worker. So I take it I can trust these three then, even though they look a little unique, to say the least.
From what I've heard them say and seen them do, I think you need to talk to them. And again, vice versa.
Okay. Then I will hear what they have to say.
Okay. We need your help in stopping a hostile cult from summoning an alien force that's trying to kill us all.
Oh. That's quite the request.
Michael, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is there a jukebox in this place?
Yeah, I would say so. It's a pretty, active pool hall. So, and what pool hall would be complete without a jukebox?
She's going to go to the jukebox. She's not expecting to see any of her solo stuff in here because it's white as shit. But she did write a lot of, pop songs in the 60s for doo-wop and girl groups. So she's going to look for one of those in it.
Okay. I mean, it's not. I'm trying to think what would be a cool role for this. Is your goal to charm him, perhaps?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll charm.
All right.
Jordan is
That's
definitely not charming.
That is a 16.
Nice.
Not sure. Hey, Jordan is charming in his own way. Okay. Even if your stat is a little low, I find him charming. Yeah, 16 would do it. So, you find a song that you have written. You're saying?
Yeah, we'll say it's it's "I Know He Loves Me" by the Crystals.
Oh, of course. Great classic Brill building tune there.
Yeah.
So as the very
It's got that Phil Spector production on it.
Oh, of course, the wall.
I'm
of
totally
sound.
mixing mythologies here because Phil Spector was West Coast, but we're just gonna go.
Right. You can't beat that. It's all good. So he's so are you announcing that I wrote this, or what do you say?
Well, I'll play it out.
Mhm.
So I know you probably don't know me from Adam, but I wrote this song. So I'm not just some random person on the street that believes a bunch of hogwash about aliens and eyeballs and the end of the world. Please trust me when I say this weird cult has an eyeball that can possibly end the world because the weird cult has it. We need your help.
I wouldn't consider myself a connoisseur of popular music. I find it more than a little vulgar. But I recognize somebody who is talented at their trade. And you do seem talented and capable. And of course, Mr. Harris vouches for you. as well as you, Mr. Aliens are real and they're going to end the world and all of that.
If you watch my show, you'll know I'm saying the truth.
Okay. Well, now that you've had a chance to hawk your television program, what do you suppose I can do about it?
That's a thing that I don't remember from the previous game, Michael.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're looking for information that he has about the object that he had, but Gaglio stole.
Well, we've heard that you've recently had something stolen from you.
Yes. You mean, well, speaking of billiards balls, something about the size of one with a unearthly glow to it.
Yes, the Eye of Abraxas.
Ah, so that's what it's called. I've had a sideline smuggling artifacts along with, well, other illicit goods that I'm sure Mr. Harris knows all about. It's a boutique market, profitable in its own way. This particular one came from a little town in Maine called Rivermaw. Strange place, even for Maine. But I had a buyer in mind, this Dr. McIntosh fellow. And now you're saying, well, Gaglio stole it from me and beat me to it. But now you're saying Dr. McIntosh is going to use it to end the world?
Well, I'm sure he'd view it as that he's beginning the world. You know, this is how these cult guys always are, you know, like glorious rebirths, and I'm not really the bad guy
Ascendance.
and all that kind of crap, you know?
Right.
Mr. X, the guy who came to shoot us was definitely Looney Tunes, but this guy was full on cuckoo, like, and everyone
Interesting.
around him.
Honestly, anyone who wants to summon a Braxis is kind of Looney Tunes.
Yeah, personally, I
Ah.
wouldn't have even given him the eye, but our childhood friend is the one that had it, and he just forked it over, you know?
Yeah, he's not really the smartest one right now.
A lot of that going around.
And honestly, if they wanted to summon an alien force, I know some perfectly benevolent ones that would work out pretty fine. Don't know why everyone has to go after Abraxas. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, have you heard the stories of Abraxas?
I've studied certain philosophies and theories, so I've come across the name occasionally, but I don't know the details.
Yeah, well, from what I know, all of the stories are bad. No one survives.
That's very troubling. I can provide
Positive.
you. Oh, go ahead, Rosie.
Positive side, it's a really good album by my friend Carlos. Oya Komovas on it.
He says, I'll keep that in mind. I can provide you with material support and maybe some intelligence, though my operations don't really extend to the woods. I think if you really want knowledge, though, you have to go to that. And this may seem a little absurd, but maybe you should ask that kook who was taking shots at you, the brother of Abraham himself.
Do you know
Now,
his location?
he's like,
How to get him to find us.
there's that possibility. And I do have some suspicions. Of course, I've learned long ago never to do anything for free. This transaction will require some effort on your part, and I think I have an idea of what it might be. And just at that moment, there is a commotion at the door, and you see not a young woman, maybe like kind of early middle aged, wearing like black leather jacket and like a tight black sweater, sort of like trying to get in, and the Vice Mosque's guards like kind of aren't letting her until Rashid X raises her hand. He's like, "All right, let her in, let her in." And you see Imani Carson enter enter the pool hall, and she like storms over and glares at Rashid and then looks at you four. And Rosie, I think she actually recognizes you, and she's like, "Is that Rosie Walsh?"
In the flesh, over my head. Nice
Huh.
to meet you.
Good to meet you. I heard you did a benefit for the Panthers over in LA.
Yeah, I did. Good people. It's a
Right.
bum rap that they've gotten from the government.
Yeah, they were a major inspiration for the Lions.
Right
And
on.
yeah, unfortunately, we've received about the same treatment. It's the reason I came here. And she looks over to Rashid and she says, "We're gonna march today. Having you with us like the old times, it would mean a lot." And Rashid, you can tell he's looking a little. I mean, it's hard to say chagrined. You can tell that's like an emotion, or regretful. You can tell that's an emotion that rarely crosses his face, but he does look regretful now. And he's like, "You're the one who needs to stop. It got your husband killed. It got so many of us killed, and it didn't change anything. What I'm doing now is building power, and that's the only thing that America understands." And you can tell that Imani is just like kind of crushed by this. And she's like, "I thought we were still comrades. Thought there was a chance you could turn around, but maybe that's not the case." And she looks at the four of you and she says, "The protest, we're going to start in about an hour or so. We're going to march from the Bend all the way to City Hall, and we're going to demand that to Mayor Orsini. I mean, I know he's a major reactionary. He's a horrible person, but if we put enough people power there, we can convince him to find some justice for my husband and for the others that his government and this government have murdered over these past couple of years. So if you want to join in, we need all the help we can get. Because I can sure as hell see I'm not finding any here." And with that, she storms out.
Rosie's gonna follow her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jordan's definitely going there.
All right. So as you two leave, Rashid, he like has his head in his hands for a little bit, and he looks up at Sean, Carl. Are you guys hanging there for a little bit?
Sean is just sort of like just staring for a second. He's like, "Oh, wait, where'd everybody go?"
Kind of just things kind of whirled around him there for a little.
A little bit.
We're protesting.
Yes, I guess I look at Sean. Who's like, okay, and do I stay on this, or you want me to do something else?
Rashid's like, "Well, here's my request," and you can tell to the others. I believe last night you had the opportunity to meet friendly Fred Frankowski.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the captain of Turf.
Heard and seen around.
Yeah.
Great guy. Such a fun person. Even now, especially, he's even worse than he was when I was a kid.
Oh, you knew him back when?
Oh, yeah. I grew up here.
Never had that pleasure. He tolerates me
Yeah,
because
he's a dick.
that about sums it up.
He was a
And
dick
what
then.
he-
He's a dick now.
Well, he's even worse now because he's
True.
gotten some real power. And what he really wants to do is hunt lions. It never really came out, but I suspect that he's the one who killed Amani's husband. He's killed quite a few other lions. Always, shot while resisting arrest or shot in the cage. He's always got a, well, he can spin it the way he wants to. He's the officer on the scene, or his men are. I think he's going to try and use the chaos of this protest to kill Amani. So for old time's sake, I want her protected, but I don't want to do it myself. I think that would hurt her. That would kill her even more if she knew.
Okay.
So I want you to go over and follow her and make sure she survives. If she does this, I'll tell you where the brother of Abraham hangs his hat.
Oh, okay. I look him straight in the eye then, just because I've had an encounter before, and I'm just like, yes, deal.
All right, very good.
Sean?
Hmm?
Let's catch up to those two. They're already on the right idea.
Okay. Do you really think it's a good idea for me to join you guys? I'm not really much of a confronting kind of person. I'll just go.
Sean, look, if you're not into confrontation, stick to the side, keep an eye out, and let us know what's going on. Anybody can always use help on the side.
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll try.
Don't be afraid to jump in when you need to.
Right.
Okay. All right. So everybody heads down the street to the bend, and we'll cut forward a little bit to kind of the protest scene. We got pretty decent crowd of citizens from the bend from all over the city have gathered together, and you can see that Amani is kind of right in the vanguard. So I'll see you guys all get there pretty much around the same time, and you kind of meet up, mingling with the crowd, and you reunite.
Hey,
Sorry for leaving so abruptly, but hey, it's for a good cause.
yeah, I plan to march as close to Amani as possible because, the pigs are less likely to mess with her if they're next to a famous face. We did this all the time in LA and Oakland.
Right. Yeah. I'm guessing you figured out that the police are probably going to try something, especially the captain. Ugh, it's weird calling him captain.
Well, the captain was a creep ever since he was an officer, so
Well,
not really
yeah,
a surprise.
it's like I told Rashid, he's a dick then, he's a dick now.
Yeah.
Except with actual power. Ugh.
All right. So with all you guys kind of clustered together, and with Rosie up front, the protest starts heading out. So, justice for Ernest, get turf out, let the lions live. These slogans filled the signs hosted by the march, set to leave the bend and go uptown, straight to the mayor's mansion. The crowd sprawls down the block, raising fists in the air as they progress. Imani Carson stands in the vanguard, hoisting up a banner for her murdered husband, and tears sparkle in the cold as they run down her face. But Mayor Bob Orsini was elected on a platform of law and order, and everyone knows what's coming next. Right as the marchers leave the bend, a double line of police with heavy wooden batons and helmets, mounted officers behind them, stand in the way. Captain Fred Frankowski hoists up a megaphone. All right, you had your fun. Go on back now. When that doesn't happen, he nods to his men. This has been declared a riot. Go back home. Go on, get moving. He waves his arm a second later, and the police move in. All right, so this protest has quickly turned into a police riot. The first rank starts waving in with the batons, trying to drive them back. Protesters are fighting back. It is definitely a chaotic situation. So maybe I'll start. We'll kind of go the opposite way we did a little bit earlier. Sean, are you off the sidelines, or are you in the mix of it? Getting are you in the vanguard there?
I'm sort of like nearby, but sort of like far enough away that I am like not like completely up front, but I'm also just sort of keeping an eye on things, making sure that, as Carl said, just sort of keeping an eye on Imani just to make sure that nothing happens.
Okay. Why don't you give me a brains roll?
Sure. Oh no.
Oh, what happened? Is it a 1? It is a 1. Oh
So
no.
2.
Oh, a 2. Okay. Or is it? Is you roll a 1? It's plus 1. Is
It's
that
+1 because of adult.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, all right. Well, you get an adversity token.
I get 2 because I'm easygoing.
Cool.
So it's not a total loss.
Oh man.
Never is with easygoing. Yeah.
Nope. And now I can actually use unassuming if I really wanted to. Oh man.
Okay. All right. So I'm trying to think. This is like a critical failure perception check. Okay. I'm gonna say you don't notice. You are so not noticing that you don't notice a mounted police officer galloping straight towards you. And you are about to either be sideswiped by a baton or like go under some hooves.
Okay.
Jordan, we'll come back to Sean. Maybe your friends can help you, but you're definitely in a bad situation there.
You just see me staring off into space.
Well, you're scoped up in the moment, like it happens in these kinds of situations. All right, Jordan, you're in the middle of this chaos. What do you do?
Question. Would Jordan have the thought process of bringing a camera crew to the protest
Oh, I like that.
for a show? No.
What do you think? Like, would you? I mean, I guess you're not. You have your own show, or do you appear on other shows?
No, Jordan has his own show.
Oh wow, okay.
More of a talk show than anything.
Whoa, is it like public access or kind of a nationally syndicated thing? Like how?
Oh no, it's not national. I know that.
Okay.
More of a local talk show.
Oh man, is it like Weird Ways, Strange Days with Jordan Mays?
Yeah, I think we said it was like a prelude to Cosmos.
Right. So like Carl Sagan's frequently showing up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, I don't think you'd have to roll to bring a camera crew in then.
Okay. So Jordan's basically going to direct them to show this entire protest. The police's brutality against unarmed protesters and everything. So he's not going to help Sean, but he is going to capture his face on camera and then show that to everybody.
All right. So you're directing your crew. Definitely some cameras are flashing, getting some like cover of time images of turf just bringing their batons down, like smashing shotgun butts into people's faces, driving the protesters back and off the streets, and like, yeah. So you definitely capture some pretty brutal images there. All right. What about?
Do I need to roll for anything?
I don't think so. 'Cause it's not too hard to like, tell a cameraman to like go get that. So I think that covers it. I would say you do notice Sean's situation, but you said you guys are just filming it.
Well, yes. I mean, it's police brutality against black people yet again. So I feel like it's important to capture that.
Oh, absolutely.
So sorry, Sean.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens there. Carl. What are you doing in this situation?
How is Amani doing in the situation? First off, is anybody like approaching her in a harmful way at the moment?
Yes, I would say so. I think as you're watching, you can see like two officers in riot gear are trying to kind of circle around her and sort of like separate her from the crowd and drive her closer to Frankowski, who is like he's in riot gear, but he's got his like his pistol on his hip. I mean, they all do, but you can see he's ready to use it.
Okay. But no pistols are out yet?
No, he hasn't drawn quite yet. So far, there's no gunshots, but
Thank you.
in the chaos, it wouldn't be too. A gunshot wouldn't be out of place, which is probably what Frankowski's betting on.
Yeah, and that's also one I think I'm betting on as well. I think I see the situation at hand, so I'm gonna try to do my best to pull out my gun and just fire one off in the air so that everybody goes down and scatters.
Okay. All right.
My hope is also that the horse gets scared.
Ooh. Okay. I think I'm trying to think of what stat would be best for this. Not really fight because you're not.
No, I'm not trying to shoot
actually
it.
trying to hurt anybody. Perhaps charm because you're trying to like sway a crowd, and charm I think is also used for intimidating.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll charm. We'll see how this goes.
Grit might also be what they use for intimidating in this game. I can't remember.
Oh yeah. I think. In fact, yeah. Let's go grit. I think you're right. Kat.
Over on the dice. Perfect. All right. D6 instead of 10. Here we go.
Sorry.
I'm
4.
not gonna make it too hard.
4.
Okay, I was just gonna say a 3 or up would do it because it's not hard to fire a pistol in the air. Just kind of the outcome. Okay, so yeah, I would say so. You get your pistol out, you shoot it up into the air. There's sort of a chaotic scrum as people are getting out of the way. You do see a moment of surprise in Frankowski as like some of his officers go scrambling out of the way. A lot of the protesters are like rushing for cover on the sidewalks. Amani looks up and like faces you, and these two officers are not quite able to like cut her out of the crowd just yet. One of them though, Carl, is gonna swing over and like take a swing at you with his baton to try and like disarm you. So go ahead and roll grit. See how well you can like withstand this.
All right, here we go. Ooh, that's a 1. Cool.
Okay. I don't know if you can.
Plus 1, 2. Because you get plus 1 as an adult.
All right. So it's going to be maybe not a crippling injury, but it will be a pretty bad injury. How do you think he takes you down? And you will end up in the street, like on the ground.
He takes me to the ground?
Yeah, or you are going to end up on the ground, but I'm like, do you think he like
Oh, okay.
busts an arm, maybe not breaks it, or like maybe he gets you in the ribs? Like what kind of...
If he's in riot gear, I'm sure he just slammed down right on the wrist, which makes me drop my gun, and then probably just shoulder checked me in the stun moment, and therefore I'm just off my balance because I'm worried about my hand.
Right. So yeah, he disarms you. The gun falls down. You drop over and like your back slams into the asphalt. And yeah, so not too great a situation.
No.
Rosie, you were right up front with Amani, and now you can see there was like some a gunshot behind you. People scattered, and you can see Frankowski is now moving in with like going for his pistol, and he like really wants to end this fast. What do you do?
Okay, well, Rosie's already would have been kind of the center point of photography, I would think, by this point.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, her standing right next to Amani is a good way of like there being no BS around Amani. So, seeing everything that's happening, she's going to move even closer to her, basically get herself between Amani and Frankowski, and sort of making sure that the cameras are trained on her the whole time by like, screaming extra loud, like, justice for Ernest. That's his name, isn't it? Ernest?
Yes. Yeah. Ernest Carson.
Right. That, and by the way, she does not have her weapons on her because she's not giving the pigs an excuse.
Okay.
Sorry, police officer friends. I'm just using the vernacular she would use. At any rate, yeah, so she's like number one being very visible, and number two getting herself between Amani and Frankowski, being like white girl human shield at the black protest, which is a big thing that she does. So.
Okay.
Because, as a general rule, especially after Kent State, when white people die, it becomes national news. So.
Oh yeah, I mean that. Sadly, it did take that to like really give the that anti-war movement a shot in the arm, or
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much it really helped. Tragically,
yeah.
God, it's so messed up. Okay.
And that's what she says to Frankowski. As a matter of fact, it's like, you sure you want a Kent State situation here?
Okay.
Captain?
I was gonna say that, like, yeah. So he like stares right at you. He hears that. I'm gonna have you roll, I think, charm to see if this tactic works, but not too high. A roll.
It's a 10.
Ooh. Okay. So he's like, you could tell he was like about to go for his gun, but when you say that, his hand like relaxes, and he's like, I think you just bought yourself a whole lot of pain, miss.
I don't plan to stay in town for too long, Captain. I'm just helping you prevent some bad optics for your department. I'm sure my record label will be happy to give you some money in the future, if y'all just back off and let this grieving widow grieve.
All right. So as he's like staring daggers at you, he does kind of like give wrap it up hand gesture to the assorted officers. They start backing up, forming a bit of a phalanx, and kind of like moving further back up the street. Sean, I do want you to roll grit to see what happens with the horse. Let's see what happens there. 4. Okay.
4.
So at least it's not a 1. You're not going to get trampled. I do think it will give you a minor injury.
Okay.
Would you like to, like, the baton does give you a quick thwack? You think it's going to like... Where you think you're taking a nasty bruise?
I mean, he's on horseback, so I mean, like, how bad is it? Are you making this? Because I could definitely see a concussion happening.
Okay. I don't.
Or do you want to not have a concussion, or no? Or
I'm thinking it's going to make like rolls with whatever this limb or head is the case may be a little trickier in the future.
Okay.
A concussion works.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll still be active, but like things involved, you're going to be kind of a little dazed,
a little more hazy than usual.
Yeah, even more so. So the baton just like comes down, takes you right in the head, and you see stars for a bit. But then this mounted officer rides back to join the ranks and starts and everybody starts pulling, and joins the police kind of like pulling back. And they're sort of like matching. The protesters sort of start coming back together. The gunshot definitely did freak a lot of them out though. So you could tell it might take a little while to reform. Amani though does pick herself off the ground. She like takes up the banner, and she starts trying to like rally them. And then she looks over at like Carl, and she's like, "Was that you?" Maybe shouting a little bit over the chants of the crowd as they're coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't out of the goodness of your own heart, I bet, huh?
Well, I don't think myself or anyone else would like to see anybody die today.
Hmm.
Might have not been ideal, but I think we're all standing.
For now, look, tell Rashid I don't want any more of his help. If he really wants to help, he's got to stop being a gangster and become a lion once more. But I don't know if he's ever going to make that decision.
I don't think I'm going to be the one that's going to tell him that or try to convince him.
All right.
But I will back off.
Okay. You go and you can play the games with him. I've got a movement to run. And she starts rejoining and re-leading the crowd further away. And as this is going on, you kind of look over to like an alley that's sort of to the side, and you see Rashid X kind of like leaning against it, watching things over, and he's sort of like beckoning you to get out of the crowd and come join him.
Okay.
Is that all of us or just Carl?
I think he's kind of taking in all of you, Carl and Sean in particular, but he's like, you can all definitely see him.
Anybody else seeing like weird stars, maybe a few birds? This is not what I usually see.
Oh,
Yeah.
As you see, like a small trickle of blood.
Not to split the party, but Rosie is probably going to keep going with Amani because she worries that if she leaves her, then the cops are going to wheel back around and start beating the crap out of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see if you guys want to reconvene a little later. Protests will probably go for another hour or so until they reach, the mayor's mansion and start shouting out to Mayor Orsini. In the meantime, though.
And Jordan can probably do a voiceover of all the footage he's got.
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, yeah, reconvening later after you've like produced that is totally cool. But Carl joins Rashid, who's like, "You held up your end of the bargain, so here's mine."
I guess.
And he gives you a note card with an address on it of an apartment number. And he's like, if these police did their job, they could have found this out pretty easily. This is the person you're looking for. He might have more answers than I do, but might be a little less forthcoming.
I think I get it.
Okay, so, oh yeah, sorry, go ahead, Carl.
No, I said, thank you. And I really hope that you've made some good choices. That's all I can possibly say to him in the most abstract way before I walk.
Yeah, you can see he's thinking about it a little bit. Give him a little food for thought, perhaps. All right, so we can kind of cut ahead a little bit until after the protest has reached its terminus. There's some Jordan Mays has like, do you think is the footage like going out? Are you like selling it to the evening news, or what do you think? What's the plan?
I think he probably hosted on his show as well as trying to get it to the local news and everybody. Just showing peaceful protesters facing off against police brutality once again. But they won't be silenced, even if we have to do this for another 40 years or so. And there's some great shots. Rosie's moment there, the cops charging, Sean getting the crap beat out of him. Yeah, some good shots.
All right. So as that kind of goes on for a little bit, as like the day goes on, you hear maybe, you know, tuning into some daytime radio or afternoon radio, you hear like this has become a public relations disaster for controversial Mayor Orsini, who has made numerous derogatory statements about protesters. He's definitely going to be looking for a big win in the future to try and shift focus off of this this disastrous overreach of the of his TUURFF program. And in fact, maybe as you guys meet up a little bit later to go to that hotel, you hear a special announcement from Orsini on the radio, saying like, and as those reporters were saying, trying to change the subject, being like, it has come to my attention that there's a bunch of unwashed hippie types living in the woods near our beautiful city. Now, you know me, I'm all about freedom, doing what's right, all that good stuff. But not taking a bath, that's gotta go. So let me just say this to those long hairs living in the woods who call themselves the, what was it, magpies, falcons, I don't know. Pretty soon, the law is going to be coming for you. All right? The silent majority is waking up, and I'm sending Turf to go get you out of there. So if you want to play tough, let's play tough. You don't mess with Mayor Orsini. All right. That's all I got to say. And with that wonderful statement from His Honor echoing in everybody's ears, you guys meet back up, probably in the bend. You think you like, or how do you guys come back together, you think?
Do we have a meeting place where we go for drinks by any chance? Maybe we can meet up there.
I mean, none of us have been
Tell me
best
where-
friends over.
I'm surprised any of us are friends, really.
We're not.
Well, I would say you probably exchanged phone numbers at some point.
Yeah, call me on my cell phone.
I know. This is why we finally get to the future, the far future of 2020 or 2021, when cell phones are around. Things will be so much easier.
Oh yeah.
I will say, in the interest of the game, we can avoid some logistics.
We could oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name of the club where she always hung out when she was a kid. Is the Crossroads Lounge still open?
Yeah, I would say so.
Could have
I mean,
that.
that
as our-
place is an institution.
Yeah, we can just meet up at the Crossroads Lounge. That's what she would have suggested.
All right, that sounds good. So you guys all come back. Definitely like some Christmas decorations are out, but it's still the same kind of place. Probably the owner has passed on because it's been a few years, but you know it's still in the family. And of course they still remember Rosie. So you've always got a table there. And they had the news turned on, probably how you saw Mayor Orsini's address. But yeah, you guys all come back together, and Carl has this new piece of paper with some important information on it.
So as he's sort of wringing his wrist, probably has maybe one whiskey to go for the pain, but he does pull out the paper and says that this is supposedly where that maniac with the Santa Claus hat is going to be located. Now, I know none of you probably have any interest in this guy personally. I don't like anybody that shoots at me, but there's a good chance he'll have more info that connects to what you know about that eye.
Have we found out if he's a government agent?
The fact that he knew where to strike and at a good time, he's got to be connected somehow.
I'm willing to meet with him. I'm just going to be bringing a gun, just as a heads up. Of course, I don't think that's a crazy opinion.
Hmm.
I'm not. You don't see my bat an eye. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Brought one. He brought a can.
All right, so you follow that address. It leads to like a rundown kind of tenement flop house located on the edge of the bend, overlooking the junkyard, where you had a rather intense situation a little bit earlier. Nobody's really like manning the desk or anything. It's seen better days. You got rats in the hallways, graffiti stained all along the sides. Are you guys just like walking up to the door, giving it a knock, trying the fire escape? Like, what's your plan here?
By the way, I do have my weapons on me again.
Okay. Yeah, there's like ample time between this and the protest. Now it's like getting to be the early evening.
Yeah. And I was gonna say that while we were at the jazz club, she would have played some tunes on the piano that are all like Revolution songs.
Oh, cool. All right. So you've arrived at the apartment of the brother of Abraham.
Does this place seem like there's lots of ways in and out, or pretty much like a front door, back door?
I would say it's like front door, and then like every apartment here, there's a fire escape connecting to one of those spindly metal staircase situations out back.
Okay. All right. Then, if it seems pretty simple, keep it simple.
Does that mean you're kicking open the door?
No.
Nah.
Oh yes. All right. Well, you got some agreement here. We can't have a door that's half kicked down.
I mean, Rosie's kind of hanging near the back, but maybe not as far back as Sean. But I mean, I don't think she's like right up front.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I could ask the desk clerk or tip them, bribe them to see if they're in.
Okay. Give me a charm roll. You have, totally bored desk clerk, probably like openly looking at like a Playboy centerfold, just like enjoying it in the middle of his workday.
I was right. My D10 did all its thing on the first roll. That's a 1.
Oof.
He's like, yeah, get lost.
Hey, look,
All right, kid.
I let my bodyguard do the talking for me. I'm Rosie Walsh. Basically, I'm scouting out this hotel to do a photo shoot. We're specifically looking for that room because that's where Blue Buster Kelly composed his great hit "Walking After Midnight." So I was hoping to get some photographs up in that room. I'm sure that the current tenant won't mind. I mean, I'll give them an autograph if they get upset.
Intriguing. Maybe throw one in for me and you got yourself a deal.
Yeah, sure thing.
All right,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll a charm. We'll see if this works.
Okay. That is an 18.
Ooh, okay. He's like, yeah, let me give him a ring. I gotta warn you though, the guy who lives there, real nutcase.
I mean, I don't want to disturb him if he's a nutcase, and I can lay on the charm. If you just let us up in there, I'll just take care of it from there.
Okay, so he rings in. He's like, they're not home right now. No answer.
All the better for doing the shoot then.
You want to just like slip in?
Yeah.
Better make it 2 autographs.
You got it.
Okay.
But what would you need the second autograph for? There's only one of you.
I got like a girlfriend. I swear I do.
Yeah, you can put one up here in the hotel. It'll probably increase business, don't you think?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, who cares, right?
I mean, I was
She'll-
planning to just hawk it down at the
Yeah,
the
no, it's-
corner.
you
But yeah,
do
all right.
what
Give me
you got.
give me the second
If,
autograph.
if you're planning to hawk it though, hold on, let me get a record, because that'll be way more worth your money than just a picture. You know what I mean?
Whoa! I guess this is my lucky day.
Yeah, she gets a
Dreams do come true.
copy of Whispers by Tulji Wood and a copy of her own solo album Quilts, and she signs both of them and gives them to him,
Whoa!
which makes
all
them both
right.
ridiculously valuable. So
Oh wow! Hey, if that you know what, you can move in there. Tell that nutcase to pack his shit and get out. It's your room now. And he gives you the key.
all right.
Yeah.
Sorry to
I'm
step up
also-
like that, Carl. It just seemed like
Yeah, that was a good roll, and you threw a lot of stuff in there. You made this hotel clerk's day. Okay. So yeah, you head up. The room is like not there, but you do have the room is there. What am I saying? You knock, there's no answer. The room is empty, is what I'm saying. But you do have the key now.
Well, so much for answering question or asking questions. Wow. Apparently that clunk on the head did something to me.
yeah, I didn't really plan to announce ourselves quite so much to this guy. I was hoping to just surprise him, but
Yeah.
she'll unlock the door.
Okay. So you guys all head in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she does the like FBI Watcher 6 and instantly looks behind the door.
Ooh. All right. No,
Smart. Very smart.
No cans of paint like perched up on the door there. All right. The apartment is barely recognizable as a place for a person to live. A single dirty cot in the corner faces a wall, emblazoned with giant green letters. Abraham equals Abraxas equals master. Newspaper clippings of Oren McIntosh, Dr. Guru, and the Doves of Enlightenment have been pinned to the wall and connected with countless scribbles. My master's master? Never. Abraham is thirsty for blood. I will please my brother.
Oh, now we're getting into some serious crazy town shit right here.
Can I
So-
try? Sorry. Go ahead.
So I guess probably heading off to the compound based on she gestures at everything.
Probably.
Hang
All
on a
right,
moment.
go ahead, Jordan.
Let me see if I can make sense of this amateur news clippings board.
Oh man, I'm sure you're like Pepe Silva-esque newspaper corkboard red string are like way better.
Oh, Jordan definitely has one of these in his house. Much more organized, though. But I wonder if we can put two and two together. And Jordan's just going to study and see if it actually makes sense in any way. Like, what is his angle?
Hmm. Okay, go ahead and roll brains.
Mhm. And I think that's a +1. Yep, 19.
Whoa. Okay. So you like you can decipher the scribbles, maybe like you find some of his journals,
Mhm.
which are full of like all kinds of kooky random scrawling. Because you know your stuff, you're able to pierce through and you know the Abraxas situation. So you realize that he is somebody who believes or has been communicating with Abraxas, who is telling him to stop Dr. McIntosh. Dr. McIntosh, or not Dr. Guru is setting himself up as a rival trying to conquer Abraxas. And Abraxas doesn't like that. So he's like infected this guy to make him his soldier against Dr. Guru.
Hey, once we've given this place a thorough toss, do you mind if I call the captain, give him a win for today? And maybe we'll get him to lay off of the activists in the area for a little bit.
Actually, not a bad idea to see what the police actually do with this information.
That's what I'm figuring.
Who knows? Maybe he'll actually do some good with his life.
I have no faith that the police are actually going to do anything about this, but sure, go ahead.
I don't have any faith that they're going to do anything useful, but I'm saying that it gives them a nicer story for today than threatening innocent people. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that it'll give them something to occupy themselves for the next few weeks.
Okay, so there is a telephone in there.
Well, I'll wait till we've thoroughly investigated the room before giving the anonymous tip to the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you're doing this, you do hear some footsteps in the hall. And you can hear them like coming up to the door of the room you're in. I'm pretty sure you closed it behind you, didn't just leave it open, so. Okay.
Rosie's going to shut off the lights, though.
Oh, okay. All right, shut out the lights. You hear like the key turning in the lock. Is everybody like, is there anything anybody wants to do before the door is unlocked and the brother of Abraham enters the room?
Rosie's going to hide behind where the door's going to open to. She's going to do the thing that she was checking for earlier.
Okay.
Wait,
Does anybody else want to do any preparations?
you said lights were off?
I think Rosie switched the lights off, yeah.
Okay, so...
Because he's going to be coming from a lit hallway, and we're going to be in darkness. It should help us get the drop on him.
Okay, so usually in a hotel there's like a table and chair.
Yeah, there's probably just one of those. And this is an apartment, but yeah, there's probably a table and chair in there.
Oh, apartment, yeah, table and chair. So I'm gonna sit in it with my gun facing the doorway.
Whoa. Okay. And then Jordan, Sean, any special preparations here?
I'm just gonna be out of sight.
Okay, Jordan.
Let's see. Does he have anything that looks like it could be explosive?
Oh. You know what? Give me a. I don't know if you have Treasure Hunter. Maybe this could be used for this. Give me.
I do have Treasure Hunter.
Oh, okay. So can you remind me what Treasure Hunter does one more time?
I think I need a token for it, though. I don't have any.
Okay. Yeah,
Treasure Hunters spend one token to find something useful in your environment, whereas Prepared is spend 2 tokens to have something useful on you. With the idea, I think, with Prepared is that it's a more useful item.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, Jordan, why don't you give me a brains roll? If you don't want to, you can't use Treasure Hunter.
No problem. 14.
Okay. I'm trying to think. What's a slightly explosive thing the average person has in their house?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Oh, how about those like those camp stoves that you'll just like you can hook up. You hook up like a gas thing. You can just cook stuff there. This guy like he probably hasn't paid the gas bill. He just like bought a gas stove instead, which he uses to cook his weird meals. It's probably like I'm trying to think he gets like Vienna sausages, stabs them with a chopstick, holds them over the camp grill until they're nice and crispy, and then eats them like that. A chopstick that he's used the pocket knife to sharpen into a spike too. All right, that's my weird serial killer cooking show. Anyway, there's a camp stove with an explosive like gas cylinder next to it.
Cool. I'll back Rosie and Carl up by threatening to blow us all up if this all goes south.
Oh God. Okay. All right. So with that, the door opens. You see the same like rumpled like overcoat and dark outfit, the same like Santa hat dangling. You get a look at this guy's face for the first time. He's pudgy, pale, little bit of stubble on it. Looks, I mean, besides kind of a dazed look, doesn't look like too out of place on the in this neighborhood. But yeah, he like stumbles his way in, and I think Carl, he definitely sees you.
When he spots Carl, Rosie's gonna basically do the move of shutting the door behind him and blocking the door while also holding out her hand cannon, just to, stop him from running, if that's what he chooses for an option.
Okay. So Carl, he's gonna look at you for a moment, and then he's like, he like twitches, and then he's like, did the master send you?
Oh, and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. You are our home, sir, and we need to talk with you. The master has many questions, and he sends us to ask them. So,
all right, I'm gonna need you to roll a charm. See if he's gonna buy this lie.
When you say that, by the way, I'll add Hail Abraxas.
Okay.
Just in case the roll doesn't go well, this is me justifying spending points towards helping you.
Yeah, you would know what to say way more than I would. I'm pissed that he shot at me, or close enough.
I'm gonna get a couple of matches lit up just in case.
Sweet, that's the 5.
It would make a difference for me to spend. I think I can only spend 1 adversity token to help somebody, or can I spend 2?
I think it's 1. What's the special move, or is this?
Yeah,
it's just providing aid.
Right. I think it's only the 1.
Yeah, you gotta have something special to spend 2. I think it's loyalty or something like that.
Oh yeah, it probably is loyalty.
Yeah, or it's when you spend. Yeah, you can only spend 1. I think it's when you're loyal, you get a +2 instead of +1.
1. Gotcha. But I do think that the person that made the roll can spend multiple adversity tokens if they want.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I'll spend 1 to at least get you up to a 6.
Okay, I think with a 6, he's a little suspicious, but he's not going to attack you. You can see like his hand goes into like the pocket of his trousers, but he's not drawing anything just yet. And especially when you say Hail Abraxas, he calms down a little bit more. So he's like, maybe the master's spoken to you too, huh? You guys on his wavelength. You heard what he's saying?
Well, he just guided me to you. You should hear what these 3 have to say.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
I've had a run-in with a few of his cohorts and seen him every once in a while.
Oh, fucking A. What did he tell you?
Oh, it's not really about what he says. He tells me. It's more of what he shows me and what he doesn't like. It's more of that doctor. That doctor is making such horrible decisions.
That doctor.
Messing with things he has no idea about.
Exactly. He doesn't know.
I've been a mouthpiece of Abraxas through years, both through my own music and through anybody else that I can influence. You ever seen the cover of the Santana record?
Yeah. I've been playing that stuff backwards.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of messages in there.
Oh, yeah. If you know ancient Mesopotamian, there's a lot of stuff in there if you play it backwards.
Ah. All right. Well, maybe you guys can help me out.
Yes, we know all about your mission.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yes, we know all about your mission. You wish to stop the usurper from gaining the power of Abraxas.
And it's got to be tonight. He wants to do it. This guru guy, he's going to do it on Christmas. It's like, birth of the savior, birth of the new savior, that kind of thing. I don't know. But that's his
Oh,
plan. So
that
it's got to be
makes
stopped
sense.
tonight.
That does make sense. Corrupting
Yeah.
one religion for another. Hmm.
Mhm.
Although I don't feel like that would be Abraxas's will.
It's
But I
not.
may be wrong.
No, you're definitely not wrong. This Dr.
That's good.
Guru, he thinks he can use Abraxas, like manhandle him. He thinks that Abraxas is getting a little bit weaker, maybe after something went down in the 50s. Some creatures that were in Abraxas's power escaped, and Abraxas couldn't get to him in time.
Oh, I've been told of that No, he's still as powerful as ever. He was just happened to have people interfering.
Yeah, well, that's what this Guru guy's doing. He's interfering. He's trying to take Abraxas's power and steal it from him. He can have it all for himself.
Oh, you could never have all of it. There will always be some way more than you should be able to wield on your own.
Uh-huh.
No.
He's kept me
No.
real busy.
Yeah.
I was gonna go over to that the weird city they got in the woods, and I was gonna shoot him.
I
That
don't
will
know
solve
if
the
that
problem.
I don't know if that will help at all. You should-
I'm pretty sure it will. Shooting stuff usually solves all my problems.
Well, maybe we should do something with the eye. Somehow
The
get
eye.
it away from him. Have you not been told about the eye?
I tried to get it, and it didn't work.
We know.
Oh.
We were there.
What? Yeah, you did look a little familiar.
Well,
And you can now see his pistol starting to come out. Maybe
we
you
had
got-
our own
you guys are looking for
reasons.
the eye.
We had our own reasons. Just know that we are trying to get it back from that usurper.
Maybe you want to keep it for yourself.
Oh no,
That
we
he's
would
gonna, like,
never.
Draw. Oh, sorry, Sean. Go
No,
ahead.
no. We would never wish to use the power of Abraxas for ourselves.
All right.
Power
He
of
is drawing
Abraxas
his
is-
pistol now. Sean,
What?
go ahead and roll charm.
Okay. Hope this D12 works out for me.
Is that okay? this is your second one of the night, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting. This is a hard luck Hackett.
Apparently, my metal dice do not like me.
Today, horrible things happened to Sean Hackett.
Okay. Sean, go ahead and roll grit. He's gonna shoot you.
Clocked in the head, get shot. That's
Can I try to get the drop on him before he shoots Sean? Because Rosie hasn't
Actually,
been doing it.
yeah, Rosie. Let's have you do that. Let's see how that works. How are you?
Rosie hasn't been doing anything but standing there.
right.
this
You
whole
are like
time.
right behind him. So
And
this
I was
would-
right behind him with a freaking gun drawn.
Yes. So what are you gonna do?
She's gonna try to Indiana Jones this guy, which is to say, like, a gunshot goes off and Sean's like, but it's actually the brother of Abraxas has gotten shot.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll fight.
I would hope so. It's cocked. That is a 6. I'm gonna spend an adversity token to bump it up to a 7.
Okay, so you save Sean. I don't think it's a lethal shot. Maybe
She
you
didn't
take.
intend for it to be a lethal shot. She intended it to just make him drop the damn gun.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it like shoots. The shot is in his arm, literally, so his arm's just disabled.
Yeah. Let's see. I think with a 6, it doesn't do exactly what you want.
7.
7. Okay, so it's closer to what you want. So he's probably not totally disarmed. I think like you take him in like kind of the upper arm. What is this part called? The thigh of an arm? I don't know.
Yeah.
Your upper arm, your bicep area.
Bicep. That's it.
Yeah.
This is me knowing body parts. You're not there. The arm thigh. Yes, you shoot him in the bicep. The gun is like very limply held in his hand, like a little bit more will totally get rid of it. He
No,
like
no.
spins around, crashes against the wall, and starts dropping down.
Now, friend,
You're
that
just
is not
shouting like,
necessary. It's not necessary for this. You may
brother Abraham commands it.
now. We are
Well-
all on the same side.
While all this continued talking is happening, Rosie also pulls out the Bowie knife from her boot and is just like on the guy.
Are you stabbing him to death? Like,
Not stabbing him to death, just like, like shoot the arm to make him lose control of the gun and then just use that further momentum to just be like, knife
oh,
to
you're,
the
you're
throat.
putting the knife to his throat. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
All right.
Some more fighting from her.
Okay. Maybe
the idea.
roll brawn because you're like kind of overpowering him.
I was hoping to use fight. If it's brawn, she's not going to attempt that.
Okay. I can see it being fight. I mean, this is a fighting gesture. Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
roll fight.
That's an 11.
Okay. Yeah, you get the blade like right over to his throat.
Cool.
So his fingers like sort of slowly release the pistol, which kind of falls to the ground.
we all are trying to do the same thing. Now, if we all work together, the doctor could be shot. But the goal
Okay.
here is to get the eye away from him.
You just shot me, or your friend did. Rosie Walsh did.
You were
Rosie-
about to shoot me. She was
Rosie-
just defending. That is all.
Rosie
It
whisper-
really hurts.
I'm sure it does.
I didn't
Rosie
realize
whis-
being shot hurts this much. Oh.
Well,
Rosie with
no, go for it.
Rosie whispers into his ear like, "You might be the brother of Abraxas, but this one is the voice of Abraxas. The brother of Abraxas listens when the voice speaks, or the brother of Abraxas gets hurt."
Okay, he quiet downs then.
Now,
Yeah, he quiets down.
now that we're all on the same page, we should obviously be working together since we are all part of Abraxas. Now, in order to get his will done, all we need to do is just figure out a way to get close to the eye. Do you have any ideas?
I was thinking about taking the bus. I don't really got a car. But now, I just heard on the news they're going to try and put like a police barricade around there.
Police barricade. That would make things difficult.
We have a helicopter. Why not just take that?
Well, didn't want to show all of our cards now, Brother Jordan.
I'm just saying the obvious.
Speaking of being brothers, possibly, what if we walk the walk and possibly talk the talk? We might be able to get close enough before we're noticed. If we show up looking like we do, or show up looking like police or anybody else, it might be very obvious. We have celebrities with us, so
Brother of Abraxas, are you ready to serve your master in the ultimate way?
Yeah?
Very good. Your master needs the police to not be barricading that road. You understand that, don't you?
Yeah?
And you know that the police have been looking for you because you've been doing such a good job of serving Abraxas well.
Uh-huh.
The police tonight, they're going to find you so you can spread the good word of Abraxas to all. Aren't you lucky to be his prophet?
Yeah, I guess.
So what you
What
will
do you want me to
tonight-
do?
What you'll do tonight is you'll wait here patiently for the cops to arrive. They will take you into custody, and they will question you. You will not reveal anything about the rest of us, for we are still doing Abraxas's work in this world. You understand that, don't you?
Yeah.
But you
can do
will be
that.
the mouth of Abraxas, letting all the world know of his glory. Speaking to the cops, oh, they will write books about you. They'll write books about you that make the books about Charlie Manson look like nothing.
That'd be cool.
So what you'll do is you're going to make a phone call to the cops, letting them know that you are ready to speak about Abraxas and that they can come here tonight to talk to you about him.
Okay. All right. I think you have to roll a charm, but not too high because you're speaking his language.
I figured it would have
Language
to be a
is
charm.
crazy.
That is an 11.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say a 10 would do it. So an
Well,
11 is
Yay.
pretty solid success. Yeah. Okay. So he's like, yeah. Okay, I can do that.
Good.
Just one thing. You, the guy over there by my camp stove. Would you
Yeah.
mind turning it on so I can roast a few Viennese sausages?
No, I know exactly what you're going to do. That's what I was planning to do.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm on to your game. Your clippings need work anyways.
All right. So you leave. Do you leave him in the apartment there to make his confession phone call?
She watches him make the phone call and then leaves.
Okay. So yeah, he rings up 911 and is like, I'm the brother of Abraxas. I'm at, and then gives his address. I've got so much to say to you. Come and talk to me. And he like gives you a thumbs up.
And she goes, Hail Abraxas.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys head out, you can see a few like police cars that are coming by.
Yeah.
So it does sort of work. You do hear in the news like maybe some units have been pulled away, but there's still Christmas Eve standoff outside of the Covey is continuing. And you can see that there's reports that Mayor Orsini himself has like arrived to kind of keep his eye on the situation. So, I mean, there is like a forest around it. There's a police presence on the road leading in, but there could be other ways inside. You do have a helicopter. So, how do you think you're going to try and get there? What's sort of your plan for getting there?
I'm worried that the helicopter is going to be really noticeable, personally.
They do tend to do that, yeah.
Unfortunately.
So I think Rosie's plan is to drive in and kind of park the car around the side closer to the woods and then sneak through the woods. But, maybe that's not the best plan. She's not that smart. She's just charismatic. She thinks flying a helicopter is going to get noticed.
No, that's a pretty smart idea. Yeah.
Does anybody know the area up there better? I'm not from the area.
In the woods?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Sure, I've been around the woods dozens and dozens of times.
Yeah, I know someone who was a Cub Scout in there. Did all kinds of fun fire-setting adventures.
If we need a way in, I could probably scout the perimeter, see if there is something. Gap in the fence, gap in the walls. Maybe go through the plumbing.
Mm. There really isn't plumbing in this place, but I like that idea.
Plan Z. Let's put that at Plan Z.
I was hoping that arresting a major serial killer would pull them off the compound for the night, but sorry.
Well, I mean, it was like just a phone call. I think it helped, but there's still going to be some, I mean, it's kind of a intense standoff right now. They can't really get like the entire force can't like just leave and go into the city now.
No, but she's hoping, when things bear out that this really is the guy, they'll pull even more police off of it.
Right. It will definitely do that. Okay. So Jordan, you think is going to lead you guys through the woods? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Rosie's going to drive the group out in her Alfa Romeo. Or Romeo.
Okay.
Alfa
cool.
Romero is like first George Romero. I don't know. In her Alfa
Yeah.
Romeo.
All right. Are there any like preparations, things you're bringing? You can always like go back and say if you think of something that you want to say you brought, you can have it with you.
Eh, nothing much but his revolver and, of course, explosives.
Oh boy, the explosives are back. Okay. And are you just okay, so you're cruising and you're parking, you're walking through the woods. Are you trying to go like stealthy or just kind of walking in? What's sort of the approach or the plan here?
I'd assume stealthy. If
Yeah,
everyone's
that's
all
what
right
I
with
was
that.
planning to do.
Let the commotion hopefully cover us, right?
Yeah, I don't think we'd be welcome anyways.
Mm. Okay. So we'll kind of cut ahead a little bit. So you park, so you take the Alfa Romeo out, park on the side, a little bit away. You can see like on the main road there through the falling snow. It is pretty cold. This is Christmas Eve, and you can see the snow trickling down. And beyond that, there's the flashing lights of this police barricade set up on the road. They're not like spread out in the woods because they have to pull back some officers to go deal with the brother of Abraham situation. So the woods are pretty open. Where you can see like a lot of turf officers, which are more heavily armed and like with the body armor and helmets, are manning this barricade and facing the forest. And then you guys go a little bit to the side, and you start heading through this dark and snowy wood yourselves. All right, so as you guys are heading through it, I think. Let's see. Carl, are you walking point, as you might say?
No, I definitely would be. If Jordan knows the area, I would just try to be most likely close to him, just so I could hear what he has to say or see any hand movement he has. We're like in nighttime in the woods, right?
Yeah.
By moonlight, we're walking pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're close. Is my guess because
Okay.
it's a trip over stuff. So I'm
Oh
close
yeah.
to Jordan. That's all I know.
Yeah,
You
don't
can
worry.
see. Oh, go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, don't worry, Carl. I'm pretty sure there are no bodies to be found here anymore.
Yeah, I'm in like a suit and like dress shoes.
Not the best clothes, maybe.
No, but that's what I wear for my job. Yeah.
Hmm. All right.
Cover
So you can
yourself
see
in a bit of
ahead-
mud.
Oh, sorry. Get one more time, Jordan.
Yeah, cover yourself in a bit of mud. I'm sure that will cover your scent. In case we run into any wolves or bears, stuff like that.
If we required, I mean, I know it's Christmas Eve and things are harder to buy, but I could have bought some like appropriate clothing for the group if there was a shop open there. I could have done so.
Yeah, probably get some last minute like winter clothing, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, winter clothing, camouflage. Like
Okay,
basically
like
like, oh
army.
yeah, we get a lot of people shopping at this Army Navy surplus on Christmas Eve. You get the best gifts here.
Yeah, you hit the last minute gift discount area and get some good.
Yeah, like this really hopeful, I guess not old at this point, but young Vietnam vet that keeps his store open because, brass knuckles always make a great holiday gift.
Oh, it's the perfect stocking stuffer.
That was okay. Nice trench knife. There you go.
Yeah, just that way people aren't just crawling through the woods in their business clothes.
Okay. So I will say, so Jordan, you're kind of leading them in.
Mhm.
As you keep on going, there is something out of the ordinary. You realize there is you remember this portion of the woods a little bit. You can see like through the trees the outpost, or not the settlement of the Covey,
Mhm.
with like the Christmas lights, the lanterns kind of glowing through the haze of the falling snow. And these woods relatively well, but there is one tree that isn't where it should be. Like a tree has moved and is now sort of like blocking your guys' path, like blocking the deer trail that you're taking.
That should not be there.
And
How
as
did
you
it
get a little
move?
bit closer,
Are you alive?
yeah, one of those trees' branches is going to try and like swoop down and swoop you up and
Ah.
grab.
Not again.
So I'm going to have you do. Let's do a grit roll to see what happens here.
I knew the trees would come and try to kill me again. I knew it. I prepared for this day.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that worked.
I
How'd
did
that
not
work
prepare enough. I think that's a. Do I get a +1 to grit by any chance?
Yes.
All right, so that's a 3.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and take an adversity token.
Oh,
and
Hooray!
it's token, so it's 4. I
Oh.
failed like twice today, I think, right? So I should have like 1 or 2.
yeah. Oh, and Sean, make sure you take adversity tokens for the not so great rolls you got too, because you shouldn't. Don't be cheated out of those. It's the one good
Mhm.
thing
Mhm.
for the bad rolls.
Rosie's been rolling kind of hot tonight, but Rosie's also not been rolling that much.
Neither have I, to be honest, but
I mean, having the rich or the wealthy tag like makes things a little bit easier for you in certain situations.
Yeah, speaking about that, since we were just in a place where we were buying a bunch of crap, I'm guessing she might have gotten some sort of incendiary device in there or flares.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you could have picked up there for sure.
Especially
Another great-
considering her childhood propensity for cherry bombs. She probably picked up a few of those too, just like out of nostalgia.
always handy.
Oh,
Okay,
but yeah,
so
I have things for the trees.
okay. So what's my roll?
all right, so I think Carl will give you an adversity token.
So it's up to 4.
Yes. All right. In that case, you're not totally abducted by the tree. I think it like bashes you and knocks you down, so you're on your back like in the snow, but it isn't able to like pick you up. But you can tell like as it swings back, everybody can see the other branches are trying to like whip down, tentacle style, and wrap you guys up.
Rosie has violent solutions to violent problems.
All right, let's hear them.
So Rosie says man is in the woods, like the things from Bambi. And basically number 1 like throws like an unlit Molotov cocktail at it just to like get the propulsion fluid on it, and then blasts a flare into it to set it on fire.
Whoa. Okay. Should I make? I mean, this is a little tricky. I think a roll is necessary.
Oh yeah,
Probably fight, because you're fighting the tree.
I like fight.
Fight the tree.
I explode, so I have a 12 already.
Incredible. Okay, keep going.
I've got another 12. That's a 24.
Whoa. Okay, this is gonna be amazing.
That is a 29 to just set this tree off.
Okay, so not only do you totally destroy this tree, this is Strange Generations and Time Tabletop does not condone the destruction of nature for any reason. We're about saving the trees, not destroying them. But
Unless the trees try to kill you.
yes, we're all tree huggers here, not tree haters. But in this case, a tree's being destroyed. So sorry.
Yeah, Rosie gets the glint in her eyes from when she was a childhood and would whip cherry bombs at everything as a solution to her problems.
Well, it certainly solved this one. This tree is toast. And the fire creates a distraction. So you do see some like flashlights going on through the woods, and you hear some boots tramping through the snow. But they're headed for the fire of on the tree, not for you guys. So this is a patrol of like 2 or 3 hawks, which are like the security guards for the covey. They're like the armed doves of enlightenment. But because you rolled so high, like they're totally distracted by this blaze, and they don't notice you guys at all.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna keep moving forward, right?
Okay. Yeah,
Am
just
I
checking.
knocked out, or do I just have a concussion?
Um,
Join the concussion club.
Yeah, you can join the concussion club. You're not as bad as Sean got it though.
All right. So I guess maybe leaning Jordan on me as we move forward, then something like that. Okay. Keep it steady. But yeah, let's go.
I do have quick healing, so this might not be so bad for me, though.
Okay, so
Ugh.
you guys are able to like scoot around. You circle back, avoiding this patrol of hawks, and with that, you like reach the edge of the encampment. So you could see that right now, situation is pretty chaotic. You've got like lots of the doves are kind of dashing around, being scared. You can see the hawks like standing guard, a few more of them kind of keeping order with they all are like armed with, you know, like probably some easily acquirable like AR-15s or AK-47s, kind of like, you know, automatic weaponry, watching over everything. But people in here are definitely freaking out. There's the police, there's the fire going on in the trees. Then you hear a tent flap like opens, and in that's the Dome of Enlightenment, which was that open gazebo area where you met with Dr. Guru previously. You see him walking out, and he is holding the hand of young Bablo Singh, who is the child messiah of this whole organization. So he comes out, and you guys are like watching through the, you know, maybe from the corner, still unseen, seeing this whole situation. So he walks out with you know, holding the kid's hand, and Bud Heller is with him, looking pretty nervous. Dr. Guru looks over the crowd. He holds up his hand. Everyone goes silent, and he says, "Brothers, sisters, children, we all knew this day would come. The world around us, decadent, depraved, evil, unredeemed. You've all experienced it." And as his eyes, hidden by these big mirrored sunglasses he's wearing, even in the darkness, though it is pretty light with all the Christmas lights, he seems to fix on you four, hiding on the outskirts there. He says, "We all knew this was coming. The apocalypse. It is time, my children, to meet it. It will require one thing from you, though. One great sacrifice." And as he says this, the fire, there's like a bonfire in the center of the camp, flashes and bursts to life, rushing up skyward, glowing an evil Abraxas emerald green. And I think that is where we're going to leave it for this episode. I think there's some discussion about taking a shot at him, not being paid enough to do it, and just wanting to see what happens. And there's some interesting things going on here.
I have some ideas going on in my little muddled head right now.
Yeah, well, you guys are hiding, you're watching the situation, so you have a whole week now to consider what exactly you want to do. Taking a shot at Dr. Guru is of course possible, but you know, he does have a lot of innocent people around him. Though once again, it is up to you.
Awesome cliffhanger. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, we're gonna leave it on that cliffhanger until next Tuesday, the 19th,
That's gonna be awesome.
for the final episode of this arc.
Michael, at least I restrained myself from saying mid monologue like, "Oh, I'm shooting him."
Hey, I think, I mean, you can like be like aiming and taking the shot, But I don't want to end on that. Like let's make that the first thing. Of the
Oh
next
yeah, no, for sure.
I
I
think
don't
that-
expect it to work, but that's definitely
That's a lot of
Rosie's in
yeah.
Rosie violent mode now.
Ooh. All right, we're back there.
I want to see the ritual.
Mm.
I think there's some frustration with some of these characters with their low rolls, with Sean and Jordan.
I'd have a single roll all night.
I
so-
know, but those two was like their frustrations of things.
Oh
just
my
not going
gosh,
well.
Sean!
So-
Did you roll higher than a 3 all night? In the land of the ones.
Like I had the one time that I could roll a charm with a D12, I roll 1. I'm just like, all right.
That was great. I'm sorry, but especially when you when Jordan prepares it so well. I
Right?
knew it.
Like
No,
I
I
prepared
feel
for this
so-
day.
I
prepared for
improv
this.
so well.
Oh,
And
I didn't
like,
prepare enough.
I feel so bad because I was trying to lay back and not dominate scenes, and then it would be like failure, 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 failure. I'm like, okay,
Right,
here's what Rosie
Yeah,
does.
I might
Double
need help.
explosion.
Right.
Oh,
and then it's just like
man.
Rosie kicks everything's ass. And it's
Right.
like, okay,
So-
I'm going to hang back, let other people have their moment. Failure, failure, failure. Okay, we'll see what Rosie does. It's
I'll
like
tell
Rosie
ya.
destroys everything. It's like,
I tell you,
okay.
a failure
Like-
is just as telling
Yeah.
as a success.
I promise I was
Uh,
not trying to step on anybody else.
I will say, Sean, the reason why Sean's voice was so different from the way he normally talks was because he was tapping into something dark that he does not like about himself, that he's seen in his nightmares.
Oh, okay, interesting. I could see the difference. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
he is.
and the low rolls. Sean didn't want. to
Maybe that was
really
Apparently,
do it.
Abraxas doesn't like
He
me
didn't really want.
talking
Yeah,
like.
I don't know if he
Yes.
appreciate you kind of
That's what you get
speaking
for-
for him there.
That's what you get for not putting out an entire album of coded Abraxas talk like
Really?
Rosie did. Because she did. Like, I've been laying it on for a long time that she talked to Santana about making his album named Abraxas, and she has that experimental record that's entirely about her childhood experience with Abraxas. So it's incredibly credible.
Hey,
Well,
at least the low rolls make good television.
They really well. They just make good
so true.
gameplay.
Yeah.
To me, they do. The
Man.
low rolls are just as fun as the really high success.
No, I mean literally good television. I have Sean being beaten by a
clocked
horse.
in the head with
Yes.
the
Clocked in the-
nightstick.
Ugh.
Oh man.
His face is going to be plastered on local television. It's going to be great.
That'd be great. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for
Oh, jeez.
tuning in and saying hi to us. Thanks for popping in and giving us a shout out there, Londell, tonight. Nice to see you're still watching and hanging out with us. Shout out to you, sir. So until then, though, we got this cliffhanger. This is kind of cool. I really like the cliffhanger one. So you guys have like a week to prepare of what would you be doing? How would that make you feel? So that's pretty cool to me. So, but until then, we have to wait till Tuesday. Until then, pull up a chair and make,
make
time,
time
to
to
tabletop.
tabletop.
Yes, our cadence is so beautiful.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll get there,
guys.
guys.
All right.
Anyway.
Peace out.
Good night, folks.